So if you're going to be more purposeful in what you do, you can link academics to study skills. And the example that I have there is where you teach students how to take notes. And for those of you who know me, you've probably seen the form that I have where you're going to specifically teach students how to take notes. And on my website, that form, you'll see a PowerPoint presentation that's for note-taking. So you can go on and that PowerPoint and print out, though it's a web. And I did it, and with some 7th graders, I did a mini lesson teaching them how to take notes, spreading things out, using abbreviations, using stars and boxing things, because then that's also a memory strategy when they write that in the notes. They don't write every single sentence, they wait until they understand it, and then they write. So when I taught this to a 7th grade class, again, it was about a 20-minute lesson, and shortly thereafter, I had to fill in for the class as administrator, and I asked the students, do you remember? None of them had the neon laminated thing I gave them, no surprise, but yet they could all tell me what they had done. They had remembered, and they all, more than that, they all told me that they had done better on a test because they had tried some of those strategies in their note-taking. So once you teach how to take notes effectively to students, then you can model that and remind them. They can use, like we're using differentiated instructions. So you could do DI, and then you make a code so you remember what the DI stands for. You know, so you can teach them, and that's one example of being deliberate in how you're doing it. Also, what's good for one is good for all. And I'm big, those of you know me know I love brain research. And so there are a lot of recommendations that are coming out of brain research that have implications for best practices for teachers. And so I made a whole handout for you. Again, you can print this out, and you can use this when you're contemplating how can I challenge. Sorry, we're starting on the back of your notes. I didn't tell you that. I'll let you know when we get to the handout. But if you're trying to figure out what, I'll let you know when you're starting on the handout.
I figured I missed it.
My mistake. I wasn't going to say anything. I've already embarrassed you now. So anyway, but this, like you can think of things with all of these things, doing things that are novel, fun, interactive, multisensory, and so on. If you just focus on one of these things and say, how can I do this in the context of what I teach and the students that I teach, or maybe with a small group, knowing that these things will elevate attention, improve motivation, improve performance. And so one is my favorite. The first one is novelty. And wouldn't it be nice if students came with a mental alertness in a perfect world? So, but you know that if you're doing familiar things, this mental alertness switches off. And so you're trying to get students to pay attention all day long, trying to get them to pay attention. But if you suddenly do something that's unexpected and novel, now you're grabbing their attention. You don't have to ask and plead and beg for their attention. You've got their attention. When I do a workshop on brain research, I begin with, for people who don't know me, of course I can't do it here because you know me, I start off by wearing a Joker hat. And people who know me come and think, what have I got myself into? I should have sat towards the back so I can sneak out. And so I say, well, you know, I don't know what you're all thinking, but you're all thinking about something about me, like what is wrong with this lady? But the point is, you're all thinking, you're all curious, and you're all attentive. And all I'm doing is wearing a silly hat. So you don't have to wear silly hats. The point is you can do something that's unexpected and novel, and right away you've got their attention.